This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rule. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, it was day 2 of the job fair held here on Grand Bahama by Bimini's mega anchor property. Employment opportunities are increasing on that northern island, and from all indications, a significant number of Grand Bahamians are hoping to take advantage of those much-needed jobs. Joan Davis-Roll has our top story.
For the past 2 days, the Department of Labor here in Freeport has been facilitating a job fair designed to provide jobs for the construction phase of the Resort World Bimini Bay project. Assistant Director of Labor Harrison Sands says this major job recruitment exercise comes as welcome news for residents on Grand Bahama, many of whom, he stated, have been struggling to survive economically.
This is somewhat of a depressed area as far as jobs are concerned. And so any opportunity to move away from this area into some of the other family islands that presents economic prosperity, it will be beneficial for the Grand Bahamian economy as well.
The Department of Labor, he says, is attempting to help the unemployed through various job recruitment initiatives.
We just about exhausted all of our efforts with respect to the jobs that are here, because they are sort of to the max in terms of recruitment. But there are places like Abaco, Exuma. As a matter of fact, we had a job fair last month, or month before last, as a matter of fact, with Exuma. And we were able to get some of the local residents here into Exuma. And we're trying to do the same thing in Bimini.
Meanwhile, skilled persons like Bradley Forbes, who has 15 years experience as a heavy equipment operator, and young DeSharo Stubbs, who's looking to gain experience, are hoping they will get the call for a job.
I was a little bit discouraged because during the 2 times they had the job fair in the Lucayan area, I was there with all my documents, whatever they did require, I bought it for them. And they promised me that we really need you, but I haven't heard from them. And so this is the 3rd time, so I feel that I should just voice my opinion on as to why is it that they haven't called an experienced man.
I just want to experience it, have my little first time experience and going to a different island working, and yeah.
Well, how long have you been out of a job, and what are you looking to do?
I've been on a job for like about a couple months now, and right now for this they doing some type of construction. So if they call me, I'd probably want to go in the electrical field maybe, or if anything if they want help with or anything.
You have training in electrical work?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, officials say once these jobs are filled for the construction phase of the project, it will be on to filling other positions as the development continues to grow. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Thanks, Joan. Well, in other news, cancer continues to afflict Bahamians, and given the increased volume of cancer cases on this island, many believe there is a great need for an oncology center. And as we hear in this report, this issue is high on the agenda of the Minister for Grand Bahama. 14 persons were recognized during this year's Cancer Society Hope Ball. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, telling the honorees that he is well aware of the need for an oncology center here on Grand Bahama. Such a facility will allow persons afflicted with cancer to receive treatment without the hassle of traveling to the nation's capital or abroad.
I've met many of them on many occasions to address the challenges that currently face our country, and despite the need for therapy, we also need a functional oncology unit at the Grand Memorial Hospital here in the short term.
While the minister did not give a date for the establishment of an oncology center on Grand Bahama, he says he is well aware of the plight of cancer survivors on this island.
Only those who are affected with the illness, who have to travel constantly back and forth to the capital, understand where I'm coming from. On many occasions at the airport, I've met sick patients in wheelchairs, not doing well, en route to Nassau to receive the necessary therapy in order to survive.
The minister says the government through his ministry has commissioned a study to assess the environmental and health impacts of the industrial sector on this island. He also shared some startling statistics.
As we are all aware, cancer is very prevalent on the island of Grand Bahama, and for years we have questions about the environmental impacts of our industrial sector and their impact on human life. In fact, because of the current prevalence, we can now, based on the statistical information in front of us, predict that one person in every family, neighborhood, or workplace on this island will be affected by this life-threatening disease.
The minister maintains that proper health care on Grand Bahama remains a priority for the government.
As Minister for Grand Bahama, it's my mandate to ensure that medical infrastructure for Grand Bahama is advanced, and over the past year, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, the Public Hospitals Authority, we have overseen the improvement of medical infrastructure on Grand Bahama, including all clinics. And in this term in office, the people of Grand Bahama will see the actualization of a new state-of-the-art hospital, as well as the implementation of universal health care coverage.
Well, the Bahamas Consul General to New York on a tour of public high schools on Grand Bahama today. As Megan Shepard tells us, the Consul General gave students a good idea of the work of the overseas mission and the importance of service to country.
The Consul General to New York visiting with high school students this morning as a part of Diplomatic Week. Heads of missions abroad are in meetings regarding world and national issues and have thought it important to enlighten students across the Bahamas about their roles in various missions. Forster Carroll is stationed in New York and shared with the students some of his responsibilities.
Bahamians living there have passports that need to be renewed. We are there to do that. We're there to, if a Bahamian is arrested, under the Vienna Convention, the arresting officers must inform the consulate. We're there to grant visas to, there are certain countries, certain citizens of certain countries, if they want to visit the Bahamas, they require visas to come here. So we grant visas. And we also authenticate documents. And we do all those sorts of things to represent. And we interact with our Bahamians.
Carroll also issuing some wise words of advice and a personal challenge to help the young students become successful adults.
Try and pursue good. This crime business that's going on, we really don't want the outside world to know too much about that. It's really terrible. And so that will kill our economy. How we could stop crime, you don't engage in it yourself, and if you see anyone engaging in crime, please report it. You know, we need to stamp it out. There's really too much crime in this little country. You know? I mean, it's really too much. And so I would like to exhort you this morning to really pursue all good. And your education, don't slack. I know many of you all, you don't take your education very serious, but you must. Otherwise, ain't nothing happening out there.
The students showing their gratitude to Carroll for the information, and Ajay Oliver delivered the special thank you on behalf of the group.
On behalf of our Jack Hayward family, I thank you from the very bottom of my heart for enlightening us with your warm words and taking time out of your busy schedule. And I just pray to God that you continue to stay blessed and also keep embedding what it is to be a true ambassador of our country.
According to the Consul General to New York, there are approximately 5,000 to 10,000 Bahamians living within his district. Megan Shepard, 7S Network News.
Well, in news from the Crime Beat, police in Grand Bahama are searching for 28-year-old D'Angelo Frederick Antonio, a.k.a. Angelo Antonio of Dolphin Street, Carvel Beach, and Gold Coin Lane here on Grand Bahama. According to the authorities, Antonio is wanted for armed robbery, and he is considered armed and extremely dangerous, and he should be approached with caution. Antonio stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, heavy build, medium brown complexion, and he weighs about 220 pounds. Now, if you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to contact 350-3107 or 8-911-919 or the nearest police station. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Home for the Aged has been at the forefront of caring for our precious pearls, and they are celebrating a major milestone. Operator Agatha Thompson says the home was born out of a need some 25 years ago, and now today it continues to provide an essential service for persons who have played a major role in nation building.
We are the first intergenerational center in the Bahamas, so it's also the home and the children that plays a vital role in the life of the elderly, with the interaction which is so important with the elderly and the children.
The celebrations will also be held in honor of persons who have been a great source of support for the home over the many years.
We're having a Great Waltz, which is an old-fashioned ball. At that time, we want to honor 3 prominent families who've been instrumental in changing the Bahamas as well as Grand Bahama, and very touching way for the Grand Bahama Home for the Aged in the families of Sir Jack Haywood and his family, the late Edward St. George and his family, and Sir Albert Miller and his family. Sir Albert is very dear to the home. He is always in our prayers, and we at the home owe him a world of thanks.
Now, Thompson says as they mark this major anniversary with a year-long celebration, activities will include a grand waltz ball and art exhibition to be hosted by local artist Chantal Bethel, as well as a calendar of other events. Well, East End Primary School, located in High Rock, hosting its prefect installation under the theme, I Can See the Leader in Me. Students were selected during the pinning ceremony. The school is excited to see the students enter another phase of their development. Guest speaker, Minister Marcus Cooper, focused on the characteristics of a good leader.
Being a leader is all about being a person of influence. So, Mateo may ask me, if I am able to make my classmate laugh and talk when they should be listening and doing classwork, am I a leader? Yes, you are a leader. The question now is, what type of leader you are?
District Superintendent of East Grand Bahama, Dorothy Kemp, commended teachers on the great work that they are doing at the school.
Awesome to see the parental support, the parental involvement, especially from the students in East Grand Bahama, from the parents, I should say, and the community leaders of East Grand Bahama. This is what we desire of parents, and we find that once they become involved in their child's learning, the child becomes even more a better student.
Although October is recognized nationwide as Youth Month, it is also recognized as Boys Brigade Month. According to Ezra Knowles, lieutenant with the 29th Company of Boys Brigade, this organization aims to better the lives of young men in the nation and groom them into disciplined citizens.
So this is an opportunity for us to celebrate Boys Brigade and to bring back to the wider public and the community, let them know what Boys Brigade is all about, and that we're still in operation. We haven't gone anywhere. We are still here.
Now, the Boy Scouts have also been in Grand Bahama for over 60 years. Reginald Dean, District Commissioner for the Scouts Association of the Bahamas, Grand Bahama District, says Boy Scouts are a good program for young men to participate in.
The aims that we are focusing on is trying to get and gather boys from being in negative activities, showing them what it is to be out and dealing with positive and not negative. And our main goal is to save boys. Somebody saved me. Well, I was young too. So therefore you have to make a stand. Somebody has to say something. If you don't, then where society is going to go.
Now, both the Boys Brigade and Boy Scouts organization accept young men from the ages of 6 years old, and they will be participating in the annual Youth March at the end of the month. And still on news from the youth, a summit to address youth-related issues to kick off tomorrow night at Calvary Temple Church under the theme Limitless. With a myriad of issues impacting the youth, from crime to unemployment, this year organizers are trying to attract more young people in an effort to bring them closer to God. Youth Pastor Bruce Russell says that this will be a life-changing event for the youth of the country.
We want to make God look good to our young people, because somewhere down the line, the Christian life just doesn't look all that interesting. It doesn't look all that fun. So we want them to be able to understand that with Christ, you can have a limitless life. There's no limits when it comes to God and what you can do.
Now, popular gospel announcer God's Young One will be in attendance, and he promises to help empower our youth.
Being led by the Holy Spirit, being led by God. So, like I said earlier, when I do this, I don't just do it just to entertain. Like Bruce said, we in this to make Jesus famous. So it's not about us. It's all about giving God glory, to let the young people know, listen, take them limits off, man. Whatever it is that you're going through, God can heal you. God can save you. God can deliver you. Just got to give it all to him.
As you come out to these services, the Wednesday night, the Thursday night, and the concert and Friday night, you will leave different. You will leave more energized and knowing that with Christ on your side, there's really no limits to where you can go. We want you to feel empowered. We want you to feel uplifted. And we want you to know that, the Bible is true when it says that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Former retired police officer Frank Pearson was laid to rest today following a service at the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King. The 65-year-old resident of East Lucaya disappeared from his home on October 6 following an extensive search by police divers, defense force, and police officers. His body was found 2 days later near a canal not far from his home. Now, family members say Pearson suffered from depression. Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn has a check on sports when we return.
Everybody, it's time for sports. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Tonight, folks, I'm dedicating this one to Valdez Newell, who's celebrating tonight, and Tracy Beckles. She's over there at Hurricane Lounge, and yep, she actually kidnapped a cat so she could get her voice back. You know how that goes, right? High school Oriole Knowles was in an Nesbitt volleyball jamboree played on Saturday at the St. George's Gym. Guess what? The Jaguars served by the Jock Haywood Wildcats 25-18 and 25-15 in the senior boys title. Shaquille Butterfield was also named the MVP. As far as the girls, let's go on court and see who won. Youth in Action took on the Nesbitt Randall Angels in the GBVA Ladies Clash at the St. George's Gym. The Angels serving and looking to make a run at Youth in Action in a tight game. Youth in Action actually had some problems in the early going. It's called miscues, and the Angels cashed in. Good play at the net. Nesbitt with the set and the kill on the play. Youth in Action also needed a quick timeout to settle down. The Nesbitt Angels had a game plan and focus. The game plan was the good set and took whatever the Youth in Action defense gave. Point here. Youth in Action looking to give the Angels a game of it and some very costly areas. Youth in Action also took the first set, get the score 25-21 on the second set, 27-25. but Nesbitt Reynolds then went back and took the next three, 25-21, 25-14, 15-10 to win the match. The Grand Bahama Shipyard Cruisers and GT Defenders on court in a men's showdown. The Defenders came to play and watched a good set by the Sharks, but the block. The Sharks actually stuck to their game plan, and they used the tools to their advantage, the good dink here. Defenders got off to a good start and took the first set 25-19. The Shipyard then rolled up their sleeves and rolled off three sets, 26-24, 25-23, and 25-22 the score. The Defenders had a defensive meltdown.
And I do apologize. That is not the high school volleyball championship. That is the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association having a game, and again, the human error is interesting. Tip-off classic underway, Jack Hayward Gymnasium, folks, and let me tell you that it was a pretty good one as well. The 21st edition of the event as well. The Pizza Coca-Cola Powerade is the event, and Wayne Flapsmith says that it promises to be a very, very exciting event for everybody.
No matter what school they're from, we hope that they demonstrate a high level of sportsmanship. This year is a special year because everyone tries to get what is so special that they be vying for is this special ring. And this ring goes a long way because when you talk about the tournament, you will have bragging rights from the time you put this ring on to the time you depart this earth, because this is a demo of your accomplishment. Some teams would have never won this ring before. Some teams have had several rings. Some people have been close to winning this ring, but they've yet to get it. But congratulations to them nevertheless.
Well, the tension is also mounting between the defending champion Tabernacle Falcons and St. George's Jaguars. Here's what coaches Bain and Sayers had to say about how this tournament should pan out this year.
It's going to be that's tall order with teams like St. George's and 8 Mile Rock, Jack Hayward. You know, those guys are usually very strong, and so it's going to be real hard to, especially St. George, it's going to be really hard to take down a team like St. George with its head coach and with all that power coming from St. George's this year.
We have a lot of group of young men, not just our team, but a lot of teams who would love to be in the finals. And our goal is the same as anybody else, is to be in the finals. And when you're fighting a perennial power like Tabernacle year in year out with the kind of talent that they have every year, I mean, it's a tough deal. And I'm humbled to feel that they think so highly of us. That means we're doing something right, So we're just excited to be here. But I feel like teams like Sunline and Tabernacle, they're the teams that we got to go after.
And it should be a great tournament. It's going to run through until next Monday. Well, the Grand Bahama Softball Association Championships are continued Friday night at the Plex. Pat's Uniform Reds control Chemical Sweepers in Game 5 or Game 6. Well, we'll find out which one it is right now.
The Pats Uniform Reds heading to the dugout and up 3-2. Control Chemical Sweepers getting loose and ready. Fans in the ballpark waiting for Game 6. The Sweepers going over the game plan in a must-win situation down to the Reds. The Reds mulling and wondering when will they play ball. The two managers meeting with the commissioner and the umpires for game, is it 5 or 6? The players looking for answers as whether or not they're going to play, and it's 10 p.m. The fans at the ballpark with that look. Will the players take the field is now the question. The two managers and the umpires are at home plate. The question is Game 5 or Game 6 to be played. There was no decision made at home plate, and so the meeting had to be taken upstairs into the scorer's booth. That meeting in the scorer's booth was a heated one, and the question of a protest filed on or off the field and when, or if that protest for Game 5 is it going to be 5 innings or what? At the ballpark, the fans are becoming restless and looking for a ball game. After the meeting and discussions, the Reds and the Sweepers finally took the field early in the morning in Game 6 of the series. The Pat Uniform Reds defeated Control Chemical Sweepers 12-8 to win this series 4 games to 2. Ken Stowe went the distance and got the championship win. The loss goes to Quinton Cooper. Now the Pats uniform Reds will represent the Grand Bahama in the men's division of the Nationals end of the month. The Candace Wolverines in the ladies. Abaco will send the Abaco Grocery Diamond Dolls and the Creator Bulldogs.
I gotta say to my fraternity brother, Sean Johnson, happy birthday, my man. Final pie. You know what I'm talking about. That's a look at.